There's something magical about building something with your own hands, especially when the end result is not just a puzzle, but a moving, working model you can actually interact with. 3D wooden puzzle kits bring together the joy of craftsmanship, the challenge of engineering, and the beauty of design, all wrapped into one experience. Whether you're looking to zone out with a relaxing solo project, build something cool with your kids, or gift a creative brain teaser to a fellow hobbyist, these wooden models are seriously satisfying. Plus, they look incredible when finished. Think display-worthy conversation starters for your desk or shelf. I've gathered 10 of the best 3D wooden puzzle model kits you can get right now. You'll find links to all of them in the video description if one of them grabs your attention. Let's dive in. Kicking things off is the ROKR LGA-01 Marble Night City, and honestly, it's one of the most mesmerizing kits out there. This isn't just a model, it's a kinetic sculpture. Once you finish building it, you get to watch marbles race through a city-like structure filled with gears, lifts, and tracks. It's powered by a hand crank, so no batteries needed, and the engineering here is both clever and reliable. I've built this one myself, and while some steps require a bit of patience and precise alignment, the final product is worth every minute. Watching the marbles loop around and drop through chutes is almost therapeutic. That said, the build can be a little fiddly, especially with the smaller gears, so it's probably best for teens and adults with steady hands and a love for detail. Now, if you're more into globes and want a model that glows with a little more elegance, the ROKR Luminous globe is a fantastic choice. This one combines intricate gearwork with a vintage-style world globe that actually lights up. It's a slower build with more delicate pieces, but the finished product looks incredibly sophisticated. A friend of mine put this together and mentioned that while some parts felt repetitive, the end result was so stunning it now lives permanently on his bookshelf. The illumination adds a classy touch, especially at night. It's not the easiest kit on this list, but definitely one of the most beautiful, especially for geography lovers or anyone who wants something a little more refined. For fans of retro-futuristic vibes, the Robotime Steampunk train is where it's at. This model has a solid steampunk aesthetic. Think gears, smokestacks, and brass-like wood finishes. The finished train looks like it rolled right out of an alternate Victorian universe. It doesn't move on its own, but the build is really rewarding, and the attention to detail is next level. One downside is that the smaller connectors can be fragile during assembly, so a bit of care is needed. Still, if you're a fan of mechanical-looking designs or just want something unique for a shelf, this train absolutely delivers on style and substance. The ROKR Heavy Truck is one of those kits that'll appeal to folks who love big rigs and industrial design. This isn't a sleek race car. It's a chunky, powerful-looking model with tons of moving parts. There's a real satisfaction to snapping together the cab, chassis, and even the engine components. What surprised me was how realistic the articulation is. The wheels turn, the cab lifts, and the detail on the grille and engine block is awesome. On the flip side, the truck is definitely a more advanced build. The instructions are clear, but the number of parts and the order of assembly means it's best for experienced builders. If you enjoy a challenge and appreciate mechanical design, though, it's a great pick. Switching gears to architecture, we've got the Rolife Big Ben kit. This one really captures the grandeur of the iconic London clock tower in a relatively small footprint. The pieces slot together snugly, and the final model has a delicate, ornate quality thanks to the laser-cut wood. It's not as complex as the moving models, so it's a good option for someone new to wooden kits or who prefers a more straightforward build. One of my cousins tried this one with her teenage son, and they finished it in an afternoon. They both loved how it looked in the end and said it felt like assembling a piece of art rather than a puzzle. Just note, it's more of a display piece than something to interact with once it's done. If you're into Japanese culture or traditional architecture, the Rolife Japanese 5-storied pagoda is a peaceful, meditative build. It stands around 13 inches tall and features detailed eaves and curved roofing that replicate ancient temple design. The build is calm and methodical, almost zen-like. A friend of mine described it as wooden origami, and that's honestly the perfect way to explain the process. There aren't any moving parts, so it's all about the visuals and structure. It can be a little tricky lining up some of the roof layers, but overall it's not too demanding and perfect for those who prefer quiet, artistic builds over mechanical models. Let's talk about one of the most whimsical entries on the list, the Robotime Rotating Starry Night. This kit brings Van Gogh's iconic painting to life with a moving gear system that makes the stars rotate around a moonlit night sky. It's colorful, imaginative, and one of the few wooden models that really blends art with mechanics. The pieces are painted, which adds a lot of charm, but also means fingerprints can show if you're not careful during assembly. One thing to note is that the mechanism can be a little sensitive if not assembled just right, but when it works, it's a total showstopper. It's ideal for art lovers or anyone who wants something that breaks the mold. Next up is the ROKR Grand Prix car, which looks like it drove straight out of a vintage Formula 1 race. This one has a sleek design with detailed bodywork, spoked wheels, and even a little crankshaft mechanism. It's not motorized, but you can push it around once it's done, and it rolls pretty smoothly. One of my younger cousins built this with a little supervision and had a blast with it. It's not overly difficult, but it does require a bit of precision when putting the chassis together. The final model looks fast even standing still, and it's a solid option for anyone into motorsports or classic cars. For those who want something totally different, the Adventure Sherlock's camera kit is part model, part mystery. It's a wooden puzzle box disguised as a vintage camera, and it actually hides a compartment you can only open by solving a series of mechanical challenges. It's like building your own escape room prop. The craftsmanship is really nice, and the level of detail makes it feel like a real old-school camera. One friend of mine said it was a bit more frustrating than expected because the puzzles inside are pretty clever, but once you get it, it's super satisfying. It's perfect for puzzle lovers or anyone who likes a little mystery baked into their DIY projects. And wrapping up the list, we've got the ROKR Vitascope, a hand-cranked movie projector that actually works. Yep, it really projects film. It comes with a little reel of classic black and white frames you can watch by turning the crank and pointing it at a wall in a dark room. The whole build feels like assembling a piece of history. It's equal parts mechanical and cinematic. I built this one a while back and was genuinely surprised by how well it functions. That said, aligning the lens can be a little tricky and the picture isn't super bright, but for what it is, it's a total conversation starter. If you love vintage tech or want something interactive and educational, this one's a standout. Alright, so how do you choose the right one? If you're just getting started or want something easier to build, go for the Big Ben, Japanese pagoda, or Grand Prix car. They're all beginner-friendly and super rewarding. If you're more into mechanical action and moving parts, the Marble Night City, Steampunk Train, and Vitascope are where the fun really kicks in. For art and creativity lovers, the rotating Starry Night is a gorgeous pick, while the Luminous globe adds elegance and that glowing wow factor. If you're into mystery and puzzles, Sherlock's camera is totally unique. And if you just want to get your hands dirty with a detailed, beefy build, the heavy truck is hard to beat. Each one of these kits brings something special to the table, and no matter which you choose, you'll end up with something beautiful that you built with your own two hands. Check out the links in the description if you want to grab one or learn more. Happy building, and I'll catch you in the next one.